The subject matter of today's podcast is success. And for my first inquiry, I decided to regale you with a question similar to how would you define success? Like, what is your definition of success? Not like a specific example per se, but like your own textbook definition. If I were to go first.
Yeah.
I got you there.
You got it.
All right, so personally, I define success as accomplishing all like the goals that you intended to accomplish with any given like area or whatever. So school, for example, if your goals are to retain information, do well on like tests or quizzes, and like I don't know, you have like a GPA requirement, and then you accomplish all those things. I mean, that would be like you would succeed in what you wanted to do. I feel like everyone has different views of success, and that like depends on the person. I mean, so really, yeah.
I agree with that. I was gonna say goals. Kind of as anything you put your mind to, short term or long term. If you achieve or get to that level, I think that no matter what area of life it is, or what it is, would be considered success in my book.
Personally, I think most people find success in what other people expect them to do, and I kind of define success as pleasing myself, doing things that make me happy and succeed in life.
I can appreciate that. Now, my next question.
What's your definition of success?
My own definition of success. Yeah. Easy. Pretty much just accomplishing what you intended to accomplish. That's just simple. Now, in your own personal life, what would success look like? Like maybe like 5 years in the future. Like, what does success look like for you?
Having some internships.
In 5 years?
Or like
Maybe look
with
for
the,
a
you
job,
mean like
but-
in 5 years or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in
5
the next 5 years? In 5 years, like
Yeah.
definitely being set up or having a job that I like, I would say.
Is there anything you'd ever want to do that's like not a standard or typical job?
Yeah.
Like what?
I mean, the whole kind of, I've always been interested in like Twitch and streaming. I've never really done it. I have a PC and everything. I have some of the tools, but that's always just kind of been in the back of my mind. Just like I should give it a shot sometime.
When I started.
I don't have my PC with me now, but I low-key
Live
might
like
start.
20 minutes
I
away.
do never,
so I gotta stop like postponing it because I told myself I was gonna do it this summer. Then I didn't do it this summer, and so yeah, I looked into it a little bit, and I have a Twitch streamer friend who's like decent at it. He's young. He's like 16, but yeah, that's something I've always wanted to do or try at least.
What
What
games?
hurts in trying? Like
Would you-
I mean, what I would do, like Minecraft.
For sure, that's solid. That's solid.
At least Minecraft, maybe like Madden or 2K. And also like there's also the games too, but I would also like to like, talk about life and stuff. There are some streamers that do that.
Success for me in 5 years would be reaching the goal, achieving a degree, starting to look for a job to better my future. And I feel like it's just having the freedom to live the way I would like to live would be success is defined for me.
For me, in 5 years, it's either in med school or taking my gap between undergraduate and med school. I mean, if I were to go directly to med school from undergrad, I mean that straightforward. I mean not like straightforward, but like that's straightforward as in how like you could see why that would be like my definition of success. But if I were to take the gap year, I would definitely want to be, I don't know, depending on when I take my MCAT, I still want to like take it on like the schedule as if I were to go to med school right after undergrad. But in that gap year, I definitely want to do, I don't know, probably like get more clinical experience like outside of the country, or just building up my resume for like med school applications with like research and stuff like that. Yeah.
Very valid. Me personally, it depends on which route I decide to go on. If I stay on the business, I'm hoping to probably most likely will have a job by then. Whether it be like actual, like in my field, exactly what I study for, or like a smaller, work your way up kind of shindig.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, if I ever get regarded as some type of philosopher, then I could do that, whatever that looks like. I'm about to look into how to put my podcast onto Spotify so I can get like
That'd be
monetized
dope. That'd be cool.
early on. Just trying to do that. Do you guys feel like our definitions of success are based on our own desires, or do you feel like it's more society based?
Me personally, my idea of success is based on my own desires. I don't try to base my ideas off of success based off what other people tell me. I try to do what I would like to do. I feel like a lot of people may see people with all these beautiful houses, beautiful cars. They see that and they think that's success. But I think success is truly what your heart feels and where you want to go with your life. And once you reach that point,
Agreed.
Yeah, I try not to, excuse me, compare myself to others. Kind of what David was explaining. I used to do that a lot when I was younger, and it just like wasn't healthy. It's not good for your self-esteem, for your mental health. So just kind of just, I was like minding your own business, but kind of just like
Staying your own
chilling,
world, you know?
stay in your own lane. You'll get there eventually. It's a matter of time. So just learn. I want to be like learn not to care, but there's some things that you don't really need to care about because it's just gonna cause you more stress.
Yeah. Okay, back on my doctor tangent. So, I mean, personally, like, you tell people you want to be a doctor, that would be like success for them. But I don't take me just having the title of a doctor to be like my success. There's like multiple things that go with that. Like, so being a doctor, I want to like, it's like I'm big on like building relationships with people and being able to like engage and like understand people's like feelings, where they come from, like what makes them them, like their why basically. And I feel like that's just like a good trait to have as a physician, because like you need to know your patients, you need to be able to listen, like actively listen, and be able to like, because you can't treat everybody the same. Everybody needs different things to feel like accepted, comfortable, and stuff like that. So like basically like that on like a personal level, like I want to be a very personable doctor. And then with like the career choice in general, like that's just like going back to like how I'm a big relationship person. Like my end goal in like life is to have like a good, healthy, stable family. So like that's my career path will definitely like give me like the opportunity to set that self up for myself and my family. But yeah, so that's my success, I guess. So like I would guess that's not like society can take me saying I want to be a doctor as something completely different than what I actually want it to be, in a way.
Like what?
Like I want to be a doctor just cause, but it's more behind
like,
it. Yeah.
Why you
Cares
the why?
about-
Yeah,
Cares about
why.
the people.
So you feel like society only looks at like the surface level of the occupation rather than the reasoning as to why you're in it?
Definitely, because like since I've been here, what's your major? Oh, bio pre-med. Oh,
you're in it for the money.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's-
literally.
yeah.
So then like you have to explain
care about
yourself.
people.
Yeah, like you have to
Yeah.
explain yourself to like to everyone in a sense. And then I don't know, like I just feel like with me being a black male, it's kind of like you have more that you have to prove in a sense. So I feel like me having a why is like something like I really need to like tell people when like, oh, I say I'm bio pre-med.
I respect that a lot
Yeah.
because I know a lot of people don't really got a why
Mm-hmm.
for what they're doing.
That's so.
Like, a lot of my well, some of the people I knew from high school, a lot of them are just going into pre-med and they want to go to medical school for the money,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of just, they always like, oh, it's gonna pay off in the end, but it's gonna pay off when your why is kind of like coming to fruition.
Yeah.
Like you're making the relationships with the people, you're getting to know them, helping them. I mean, the only really people who have a why, I guess, are when it comes to like pre-med is like you and my brother.
Mm-hmm. All your brothers in that?
Well, my brother is neuroscience pre-med,
Oh, okay.
but he generally is really invested in it. He really loves it,
Mm-hmm.
and he cares about the people he's gonna care for. So I respect it a lot.
Do you think that you want your like own practice? No. So,
I feel like that's like I don't know all the details about it, but just like on the outside looking in, that just looks like a hell of a lot of work.
what does that even entail?
Like
Does it mean like you have your own like branch?
basically, and like I feel from what I know, I feel like it wouldn't be like I don't know all the details about it. From like what I know, it's like you would basically like you bring in your own patients or like they get referred to you, but like that's not successful unless you like bring in patients, and then like I feel like that's I don't know. I just feel like because then like you could basically like overcharge people for simple things and stuff like that, and like I just feel like that's like a lot. Because like at the end of the day, it would be a business, and I wouldn't want to look at medicine as a business. That's like you want to help people. So like I rather like work for someone and make sure I do the best that I can do in my position instead of having to worry about like the numbers behind helping people. Because I feel like once you get money involved with patient care, that's kind of bad.
I will say it is often money is always very often involved in patient care, which is it's not a good thing.
Yeah,
It really shouldn't be the way it is, but it always ends up being that way.
we love America.
Yeah, I mean that's the American health system's like that. I mean, my brother was talking to me. He's like applying to med school now and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but he was talking to me about how kind of the whole like medical system, like how messed up it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's
just
all about the
like-
money when it should, in
Right,
fact, be
it
about the
shouldn't
patient
be.
care, taking care of people.
And that's why I like that's when you said like your why is like helping people. And
It's good.
I really respect
Definitely.
it.
Chris, you mentioned something about how you feel like you're ignoring like your comparisons to other people. Do you feel like at all points in your life, like you feel like comparisons have been like negatively impacting you?
I mean, at some points there definitely was, like when I was younger, in like sports and athletics. I was always like decent at swimming, but like for example, like David was always better than me. And it was like,
I'm sorry, bro.
no, it's fine. But I always like I looked at it from like a different perspective than I do now. Instead of, I was young, really young, but instead of kind of looking to him towards guidance and like him being a role model, it's just kind of being like, I wish I could be him, but then at the same time, I'm not putting enough work in.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just learned that I need to be putting the work in to get to the level that I want to in anything, academics, athletics,
Life.
what you're passionate about.
I also feel personally like everybody has their own time. I was peaking very early in swimming when he honestly caught me by senior year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just everybody has their own time. It's just about who has it first, and you shouldn't let that type of stuff get to you because Because if you know that you're putting in the work, that you're doing the things that you need to be successful, I feel like you should have no worries. You will become successful.
Yeah, and then so like going back to the question that you said, I mean, I don't want to say I was like a late bloomer, but I didn't really like hit puberty until I was like 16. So like when we were in quarantine in 2020, that's when like I majorly hit puberty and everything. And when I was a freshman, I'd always like compare myself to like all like the taller, better looking guys, and just be like, oh, like why can't I be like that? And now I kind of just, so that like definitely like negative impacted like my self-esteem and how I carried myself. And then over time, with the help of friends and kind of just cleansing myself a little bit from social media, I kind of just understand that I need to have confidence in myself and kind of just, and this is going to sound so narcissistic and so arrogant, but I just like go into a room and I just think I'm like
The best person.
the
in
best
that
person
bitch.
there.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I think. It's like every time I go into a room.
I mean, that's not bad unless you like project it onto people.
And yeah, I don't, yeah. But like when you have that confidence, even though it's more than likely not going to be true, it's just like it makes you feel better. Makes you calm.
Makes you feel
Makes you
good
ready
in your
and
own skin.
focused. Yeah.
Comfortability in your own skin. I see that. My own personal experience, like, I don't know if I was would you say I was like an early bloomer? I was always kind of like,
I mean,
I always kind of had a little leanness to me. But
yeah.
I think that's just like genes. I really got lucky with that.
Serena Williams is his mother.
No, yeah, whatever. So like, I always was like kind of strong, but I wasn't like bulky. I was just like lanky, but like I wasn't weak. So like with stuff like athletics, I was always uncoordinated, but I could always like do it. It was weird. It was like having everything set up perfectly, just not having like the application for it.
Yes.
And I guess that kind of sucked too, because like I always like, that probably got to my head a little bit when I was younger. Like I felt like I didn't really have to put in a lot of work for like stuff I wanted to do, and I didn't feel like it either.
You had a platform, but needed a plan.
I didn't even want the platform. You know? Like my parents wanted me more in sports than I did, and then like track, when I did put in the work, my knee would just break. So that just wasn't the outlet for me, you know. And with comparisons, I've had a twin my whole life, so I feel like I'm really used to comparisons, and they've somewhat helped me. Like I wrote, I think my college essay about it, about how comparisons impact you. And it used to be like negative comparison, but then like I feel like it helps you realize how much of an individual you are from like viewing other people. Like instead of looking at how you aren't, like how you are less than someone in some way, I just look at it as like I'm different, and I shouldn't like we're not even on the same platform really.
A wonderful way to look at it.
Yeah, it's like you have no enemies unless you think you do.
Yeah.
It's valid. How do you think we can be more successful overall as like a society? Like how do you think that? Because I don't feel like as a society we're doing a good job in striving for our own personal successes.
I feel like as a whole we can obviously be more welcoming to everything. Everybody else's ideals of success, and everybody else has a different background. We need to be in a different vision of success. We need to be more welcoming of that idea and how people like act according to their successes.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like society as a whole could be doing a lot better job to strive for more success, whether it be in like any aspect of our society. It's just kind of hard because when you break us down to the core, we're programmed to be self-interested at least a little bit in ourselves. And for some people that comes first, for some people it doesn't. But that kind of factor of self-interest can lead to all sorts of corruption and everything. But if we kind of, I don't want to say we gotta like fade away from it, but if we do, I think we could all come together a little more and make major steps that we kind of did during like the moon landing. Everyone came together. They engineered the rocket ship. Thousands of people working on it, and they made something great happen. So
Do you think the moon landing is real?
I don't know.
It's like you brought it up. I was like, oh, do I even believe the moon landing is real? Sorry to go on a tangent, but why haven't we gone back
Yeah, exactly.
in like more than 2 decades, 3
Expensive.
decades?
Was it?
I don't know.
Wait, was that one moon landing the only time we ever went?
Yes.
People? I thought Russia went.
People.
Man,
Did Russia win? Nah, yeah, you're
I
right.
think it was just.
It's a big deal. It was a big deal because it was the first time.
Wait, I swear. Then why are there so many astronauts then? Like, that's
Because
They're
they
just
go
on the
It's
International
International
Space
Space
Station.
Is that even real? Nobody knows.
I mean, the people. I think it was just the people on the one. 12 human.
was there more than one mission?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so I guess Russia did go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Space
Oh.
race. It was all about that.
Yeah, and it's 4 American moonwalkers. Yeah. It's been more than like the first group of people to go.
But
to
it's
the
still
moon.
been.
It was like
It
all
was such a
within,
big deal
like,
because it
5
was the
years.
first time.
Oh, I mean, maybe
No one
they
has
got,
gone
maybe
back.
they got bored with the moon, man. Who knows?
But now we're trying to go to Mars. Anyways,
Because the Earth is
That's
dying,
even
bro.
the Earth is dying
We're
because
like,
we're
what?
killing it.
Yeah,
Because
that's
we're
why.
in the
That's
wait.
why I'm a
It's the
sustainability
3rd or
major.
4th great extinction. Wait, asteroid,
Mass
ice
extinction.
age. What was? Yeah, this is the 3rd great extinction. We're just gonna just shrivel up and die one day.
That's very true. That's very true. I forgot what we were talking about.
You guys know?
Success.
Wait, but did you guys know we had a little ice age? Did you guys know that was a thing? I learned that in my environmental class. During the years 1300 to 1800, there's a little ice age where the temperature dropped, and so the soil was less compatible with growing the yield and the crops to feed the growing population of Europe at the time. And so the people who were like at the top, like the monarchs, the royals, they were all like safe, fine. But the people who were like peasants and stuff and just like farmers, they were having a trouble time. And that led to like riots and like pushing back against the royal family, which led to like the Enlightenment, questioning of the church, and kept going. Scientific revolution kind of brought us to where we are today, actually, if you think about it. Pretty dope.
Environmental degree going crazy, bro.
Yeah. I actually love that class so much.
Is it for psych?
No, it's my environmental
Oh, yeah,
2300
yeah.
Society of like, Society of Economics, Politics. My professor's she's very passionate.
That's good. That's good to have a passionate
So,
professor.
yeah.
But you guys were saying, I just remember we were talking about how, as a society, to get better, you think that we should focus more on our individual successes rather than success as it's viewed by society. And I'm confused as to what that look like, because we're supposed to be like a capitalist nation, so we're all supposed to be like going towards our own private interests. But the way at which we go about like market and how we monetize things, it's not really like smart, or not even smart to say, but like it's not really applicable. It's not easy to do for everybody to have their own like individual private way of getting money. Well, at least in nowadays, because like back in the day, it used to be like families did certain things, but now it's like we all just work for the man.
Wonderful question. I have no clue.
Because, I mean, it's just like you always want the best for yourself. But, I mean, like some people are willing to sacrifice themselves for the society. And when I mean sacrifice, it's like, I don't mean themselves actually, but
Just
like
take
the
the shorter,
time.
take
and-
the shorter end of the stick.
yeah, for like the greater good of the society. So, I mean, it's hard to say because definitely nowadays, everything going on, a lot more people are very self-absorbed themselves. They don't really care about other people, or they don't really want to help other people, and so that kind of makes the movement of society working as a whole harder than what it used to be. So,
Do you feel like back in the day we were better able to like
there was
stop viewing ourselves as like individuals?
there was more nationalism, I would say, especially like post-wars. I think that really drove us to, like, the Cold War really drove us to go to the moon, like we just mentioned about. But a lot of that kind of like spirit, like we're united, we're one nation, kind of pushed us to better ourselves, better the society, better everything. I think kind of, I mean, yeah, there's definitely, I would say, like, there's definitely, like, still nationalism and everything, but
I feel like you're kind of saying we need to work together to help each other achieve our goals as individuals.
the big goal, there's, like, small goals that you can achieve by yourself, but the big goals that everyone has, you can't do everything by yourself, so.
But like I feel like as America, we've never
truly been in a point where like we all are united and want to help each other. So
true.
like we just don't know how to navigate that because like we've never been there. So like you don't know what you don't know. So I mean I feel like it's just hard to truly figure out how to like be equitable for everyone in every aspect of life without, I mean, like it's definitely ways we could do better, but like definitely have like trial and error with like that entire process of like being truly united because like nowhere in history has like everyone been fair to everyone, like so it's just like it's just never been done before, so like it's just a lot
That's
of
why, like, we don't like this utopian society. I feel like that's like, it's like we would never reach that.
I feel like we can't reach that because we just don't know how.
I mean, don't know how, don't want to truly do it. Like, some people don't want everyone to have a fair and equal life. So, I mean, it's kind of just hard to do all that when you have a lot of pushback for, like, basic human needs, which is kind of absurd to say in 2022.
Yeah.
But
it's our world.
Yeah. Like, it's hard to say, like, everyone is created equal, but and society as a whole and everything is definitely not true, which hurts to say, but I think until that comes true, we're far from a utopian society, a perfect world.
I think that's the impact of the people in power. I feel like it's like propaganda almost. They like use certain tactics to divide people so they're easy to like conquer. You like pin two people against each other so you can do something behind their backs. Sort of kind of trick. I don't know how to really go against that. I feel like like it's not even a equality thing. I think we all need like, I feel like nationalism, we all just had like a common purpose.
Yeah.
And that's not like us necessarily believing that we're all on equal footing. Rather, the goal in front of us is like bigger than our detest and prejudices against other people. So I don't know. We would need like, I don't want to say a world war, but war is good for the economy.
It is.
And it's like, in the time of peace, the militant man will attack himself. And that's why I feel like you're saying like people are more stubborn. Because they have more time to reflect on who they are and they have more time to experience themselves without worry. Valid.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think motivates you nowadays?
My potential. My potential. Like what I kind of see myself being.
I agree with that. Like, it motivates me to continue to get better at the things. Like, I'm motivated to be a better person every day, to be a better student, be a better sibling, be a better son, just just to get better and move towards those successes that I see myself wanting to achieve.
My end goals definitely motivate me because it just gives me something to get up and work hard for every day. Because that's my future. That's people's like my end goals can affect have a great impact on a large amount of people. So not saying that people are depending on me, but there could be people out there that I can help with my end goals. So that's just something to look forward to every day. And definitely as I've gotten older and basically I don't know, since senior year of high school, I've definitely learned to be proud of myself every day. You've been on a long journey and you've made a lot of accomplishments, but there are so many more to come. So that's definitely just like you said, just to get better every day. I don't know, that's just something that keeps you going.
I feel like I have this passion. It's not very subjective or anything. It's just I've always thought to myself, no matter what I do, my passion's to help as many people as I possibly can, whether it's through medicine or through economy, I don't really know, or just saving the earth or donating a lot of money or just helping people is something I really am passionate about, and I try in kind of any way in whatever I do to achieve that.
I didn't answer. What motivates me? Just the realization that I exist, or I think I do. It's literally just that. My goals aren't I don't know how to explain it. My goals, I feel they're goals. They're not I'm not oh, I have to achieve this. I'm more so I'm gonna do this because I'm able. You know? And I feel that takes away some of the stress of doing things. Because it's I'm just doing it to. It's just doing to do. Rather than doing for a specific purpose. And that's not to say I don't have any ambition. I'm definitely motivated. But it's I'm just, it's just actively doing stuff.
You mean
with my homework, I've never I think I've expressed this to Andrew before, but if I don't feel like doing my homework, I simply won't do it. Period. I was like that all throughout high school, but there was only a select few times where I didn't feel like doing my work.
It's a subconscious.
Yeah. So if I know if I don't feel like doing it, then I probably just don't need to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
I know what you mean.
I've definitely been doing that more because since I got to college, because I feel
is it really worth the 10 points?
No, not even the 10 points. It's more so just saving yourself from burnout because I'm going to be in school for at least the next 8 years.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to myself, and you have to know your body, especially in sports. If you're injured, you have to listen to your body when you're ready to come back. You have to do that mentally as well. I'm if I force myself to read this book right now, I'm not going to retain anything I just read, and therefore I'm probably going to have a pop quiz tomorrow, and I'm not going to do well on it. So we're just going to reconvene at a later time today, and then I will eventually read it, but it's when I'm at ease and I feel I'll actually be able to do it. And I'm not saying don't do your work because you never feel like doing it, but you have to one, hold yourself accountable, but two, don't cram yourself into one configured time to do everything, because you're still learning, you're still growing, and you just have to save yourself from burnout, especially as a college student, because I've realized that I'm not the type that's going to be pulling all-nighters, and every pre-med student that I've talked to, they're just yeah, some of those late nights, I'm just not built for that. So I'm just going to have to figure out a different way on my different journey from everyone else, because I'm not built to stay up till 2 in the morning and do work. The latest I can probably do work and be efficient, I would say 11, 12-ish. 1 is kind of pushing it, but we can make it there. But yeah.
I feel like that's for work we don't want to do. For sure.
Nah, I started doing the work I don't want to do first, like all the time.
Like if it's stuff like
feels the best when you get it done.
Yeah.
And then you get that motivation for the other work.
Like if it's stuff that I like actually actively want to do, even though it is still work. Well, I guess that wouldn't really be work. I feel like work is like a word we use for stuff that we don't necessarily want to do but need to do in order to achieve a certain goal. So never mind. Forget that statement. How disciplined do you think we are as like a society?
Terrible.
Absolutely. I don't necessarily have an example though.
I mean, you just got. I mean, I'd say we're all very disciplined in here, but
We're not
as
the
a
average.
whole,
We're not the average person.
I mean,
I ain't that disciplined.
you got like couch potatoes, people thinking like everything's coming to them. All the people who kind of there are people who grew up in very fortunate situations who are disciplined, but then there's some who are just like everything's handed to them. I don't think they're very disciplined people because they didn't grow up with that. So that's why I respect like a lot of like wealthy families when they teach their kids that they need to work and strive for everything by themselves, even though they could be handed everything.
Like Shaq, he said,
Yeah,
this
like,
is,
I love
this
when
is
Shaq
my
said that.
money, not your
Mhm.
money.
Yeah, yeah.
Steve Harvey said the same thing. It's like, this is me and my wife's money, not yours. If you start a business, I can help invest a little, but that's about. I think that might have been Shaq too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to
Shaq's
what?
a funny guy.
Did he say his bachelor's or a master's
He's
before
got-
he gives them like
I thought it
anything?
was like 2 degrees.
No, yeah, 2
It was
degrees.
2
Yeah,
degrees.
2
Yeah,
degrees.
Before he gives them one.
Like
Before they have access, before they in the will.
Oh, he did say that, didn't he?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good. I don't know if that's a good standard for success. I don't even know how college really.
That's fair.
I don't like. I like being in college even before college. I still don't understand what college really does for us. It's just like
career
extra.
I mean, you can
stuff.
say that about like any stage of the American education system. Though.
Oh yeah, the American education system just ain't.
It ain't.
It's not,
It's not giving what it's supposed to have.
and I don't feel like it's private interest either.
And going back to like what people find value in, I feel like a college degree, like you almost can't get a job, like a solid job with that college degree. You know what I mean? And that's where people find value in college, and that's what college does for you. You know, I feel like rather it should be a time to learn and grow. I don't feel like I don't know. I don't want to say we should. I don't want to. I feel like you should be based off of. People's opinions of you should be based off of you as a person, your qualifications, not based off of.
But how do you get
that
qualifications other than
Well-
that piece of paper?
That's fair.
I feel
That's so weird.
we need to find other ways to gauge people's ability to
Yeah.
do something other than a piece of paper.
But like I find it so funny that like everyone knows that like just because you get a degree you're not smart. Like we were talking about this in my survey class, and like they were talking about like this is why we have so many GEs, because like they want you to be a well-rounded student. Because just because you go to college doesn't mean you're smart.
Yeah.
And just because you don't go to college doesn't mean you're dumb. So I'm just like, if we all know this, why don't we do something about that? Because like you're basically just telling me that like I'm just here, but that doesn't mean like I truly did anything.
Like that's like the whole thing. I was talking about like the Spanish minor thing.
Mhm.
And I was saying like, so like you writing like you're gonna like be like you're gonna learn Spanish. You're gonna know it very well. You'll more than likely be somewhat fluent in it, and so that's gonna help you with your opportunities. But then there's some people who grew up in the language. They don't need the minor, and they could just say fluent in Spanish. So it's like you have a minor, they're fluent. So like those, I mean, like they don't need the paper.
Right.
College is also a monopoly. It's extremely expensive, and
OSU
simply be-
makes like $7 billion a year.
Yeah, simply because it's so expensive. A lot of people don't have the opportunity to go. We're
Yeah.
very blessed that we have the opportunity to go to college and that we can afford it. And many people they're at a point in their lives their lives haven't been great. They don't have the money to go to college. They've all had to work very hard to get to where they are at, and I feel like college is just simply it's a good thing but a bad thing.
It is like either a good thing or it's just like a line of just a bunch of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
Just like
You said college?
like the idea of like getting to college, like either like you can get there and bada bing bada boom, like all said and done, or it's like,
that's how I did it.
or it's just like a bunch of just roadblocks after roadblocks and just like, and then I just feel like some people, they just don't have the time to go through all these roadblocks or just continue to like want to like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just very,
And
college
for some-
doesn't make sense.
I feel like for some of these people, you get that college degree, okay, but then you're hit with 200 grand in student loans. 200 grand in student loans,
And like the average
you haven't
person doesn't do
established
anything related to their degree at all.
Exactly.
Or my brother got his bachelor's. I think he had his bachelor's in psychology, and then ended up going back to college to be in accounting,
Yeah.
because he started his own business with a psychology degree, and the business had nothing to do with psychology. Like, I don't. It's
It's all about those aspirations and
And
what
like-
life takes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what we're learning right now. And I feel like that some of the information we're learning right now is like, it should not be worth the amount of money we have to pay to go here. I feel like this type of information is like, it's textbook material.
Yeah,
We should be able to just get it for free.
You can take Harvard classes online for free.
Not every class.
Not every class, but
The computer classes. Yeah.
No, that's like the whole debate with like you can like walk in any
you could
lecture
walk
class,
in
any
any
lecture
lecture
class. You if you're that passionate about learning, you could walk in a lecture class, just like learn, and then I mean you'll learn it, but you won't get the degree.
Then we're going back to the degree that you need to
Yeah.
have a job.
Which I think is like, it's like this, like when I was a senior in high school, there was about a couple weeks stretch where I was thinking about not going to college, just like maybe taking a gap year, just chilling and seeing what I was really passionate about, and that didn't have to do with college, then just like not go. But a part of me was kind of interested in what I could learn about myself when I got here, because college is when you truly like learn the most about yourself, I would say.
Yeah, it's not just a academic
It's a
thing.
personal.
It's learning with other people that are also trying to learn
Yeah.
life. You know?
College isn't really, I mean, we learn a lot, but there are some like basic skills that we're not taught, which is kind of sucks, but
I feel like
if I
so
could
much
learn-
has to be taught like to you by people that aren't your teachers.
Yeah. Like how to treat people with respect and
Yeah, like morality.
yeah.
I mean, I feel like, I don't even know. Morality being something that's taught makes me feel weird about it sometimes. Like, because of course you should do the right thing, but if we're taught what the right thing is, how are we sure that's the right thing?
I mean, I know the right thing isn't to hit
But
you
you-
right
Oh
now.
my mind.
you know what's crazy?
Stop.
when you apply to med school, my brother's doing this. He had to take an ethics test.
Oh yeah.
You
He
do.
had to take an ethics
Yeah.
test,
Oh, wait. I just learned what that's called.
and I think
too. Hold
that's one of the, like, even though like the medical systems like this, I think that's one of the smartest things that they do,
But you can always like fabricate.
because you can't teach yourself it's like your own like background like based ethics that you have. So I think that's like a very cool thing that they do.
That's part of the sociological aspects of our life. Everything is learned in some way, whether it's from those direct relationships you have with. I mean, the first people you have a direct relationship with is your parents. Obviously,
Mhm.
it's just all learned from the beginning, and nothing is untaught necessarily.
dang, that's crazy. I just learned what that test was called on what's it called?
I had no idea.
on. Monday, but I forgot what it was. When I get the
I
PowerPoint.
love that for us.
But you know what's funny? You had to pay to take the ethics test.
No, yeah, there's
So-
you have to pay for all that.
You have to pay them.
He paid like $85 to take this ethics test.
Yeah.
But if you fail,
I don't really know if you
I mean,
can
like,
fail.
you definitely.
I mean,
don't
you
know
can
if
do.
they grade it. I don't know
Like,
if they do that. I think they look at
it's-
your responses. I think they like categorize them almost.
Yeah.
Like in when you're applying to like graduate school at OSU makes you take like some tests. I took it in my survey class, and then you categorize, and there's 8 different sections, and you categorize into your top 3 of what your like interests and what you like to do, and then so you're given like a little abbreviation, and so like whatever area or whatever abbreviation you have fits you more in this area and this area. It also depends on like that they I don't know if it was graduate school, it's like a PhD program here, but they look at your abbreviation you have, and then they assign you your project for your PhD, like the thesis you had to make. So like one was she talked my survey teacher was talking about how her friend and I had like this like communication one where she really liked public speaking, and then the university had a public speaking research project, and they gave it to her. She went around and she did research, and then she presented it to like Harvard and a bunch of places, so, stuff like that.
That's about it. Okay, I have one more question. Can being too dedicated to your own goals be a negative thing?
Be it negative.
Depending on what your goals are.
I mean, assuming that your goals are positive goals, like for the betterment of yourself, like I don't know how to explain it.
I mean,
Like, can you be overly ambitious towards your own goals?
if you want to be the best at what you do, you need to have a sense of tunnel vision when it comes to that. Like, you need to be fully dedicated to it if you want to be like, the best, or whatever it is. And that can negatively affect a lot of the things in your life, the relationships, friendships, sometimes even your health. And I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a good thing either. So, but it definitely does have negative repercussions that come out of it if you're too dedicated.
I feel like it's great to be focused on that, on your goals and visions. It's part of being a human is having goals and aspirations in life and wanting to be focused on those. But also part of being human is having a life to live outside of that. I feel like if you're too tunnel visioned, you lose sight from the things that also matter to you other than your goals. Like, I don't know, family. Like say Andrew's focused on being a doctor. He wants to be the best doctor he can be. He wants to help as many people as possible.
Facts.
Let's say, I don't know, he wants a family as well. He's overly focused on being a doctor. He also can't support and love his own family. You know what I mean?
It's all about balance.
It's balancing. Work-life balance, goal-life balance.
Homeostasis. That's my favorite word.
I'm so dead.
That was good though. That was good.
Oh, it was
for
good.
sure.
It was great.
So I went to an IB school, so you just have to have balance in your life, but basically what everyone's trying to say. So, like, yes, you focus on your goals, but also focus on your other things. So, like, yes, focus on trying to help other people and save the earth, but also focus on making sure you're all around good, like, by yourself. So, like, it's just finding a way to juggle. You just have to juggle everything.
If you're not good, then you can't help.
You
other
can't help
things.
other people, and then it's just the domino effect, and then boom, the world sucks.
What a way to end this.
I guess.
You about to speak?
Go ahead. You can.
I thought you were about to say something
Oh,
crazy.
I was just no. I don't think I was gonna say anything crazy. It's gonna be like, I guess that's kind of like, when it comes down, that's how we become a better society. Kind of like what you just mentioned. Kind of focusing on things, because I like self-interest, like down the core, everyone has self-interest. A lot of people have interest in other things. So if everyone is able to balance it in a healthy kind of mindset, society, and environment, then that leads to a better person, better people around you, then it spreads to the people around you. And then that's kind of how we can get to a better society. Not necessarily perfect, but improvement. So.
That's mad valid. Sometimes I feel like there's too many people in the world. Cause like we're too many individual people in the world. Like and everybody's like too caught up in their own nonsense to like join together. And I feel like part of the reason why society's worked a little bit more smoother in the past was because there's like less people in the society. It's more personal.
Mass extinction.
That's about to happen. Yeah.
This is so
I feel like there's less people, and I feel like we're more responsible for our actions.
Yeah, we definitely are. With
Because you're more dependent on each other if you have less people.
and I think the development of technology has to do with a lot of this.
That's not true. We took people out of work.
It can take jobs away. It's gonna. I don't want to say it's gonna catch
take
more
it.
people, but
take
there's a
every job.
story like my I don't know if it was like my second uncle, not second uncle, second cousin, or some uncle on some side of the family. He was talking to me when I was a senior, and he's talking about his senior prank and about how he and his friends unbolted the freshest big boy statue, and they took it, and then they put it in front of their high school, and he's always saying to me like, "Oh, if I did that today, I'd get arrested." I was like,
That's very true.
"That's very valid. Technology. So then you have to be more responsible for what you do."
What was our senior prank?
That stuff was so bad.
We had some.
I do not claim our senior prank.
What was it?
They moved chairs out of the cafeteria.
We filled like a whole stairwell with balloons.
That's
That would have been raw.
That's somewhat cool.
But
We
you
had
know.
to get our prints approved though.
Yeah, we did too. No, we did too.
Yeah, I would hope so.
They approved ours.
We had we had a slip and slide in our hallway that lasted maybe like 2 minutes. It was so lame.
Yeah.
The guys who did it were also like, it's like I don't want to say the brightest, but like you know.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, you don't know this.
They're good kids though. They're good kids.
Well, lovely having you. Be easy. Everybody just give a smile to the camera as big as you can.